All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to a pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for asking. So a lot of interesting stuff going on here in the market as well. For us variable traders, got a lot of events going on. So we'll get into it throughout this pre-market show. We have our challenge, we have a meetup, we have lifetime webinar happening tomorrow, I believe, right? Tomorrow or what day is today? Today is Tuesday.
It's tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow.
It's Thursday.
Yep,
Thursday.
May 2nd.
Second.
Excellent. We got meetups in Dallas and Austin. I mean, just a lot going on, and we'll go over those details later on once we get this watch list together here. So, also, markets is hitting all-time high. So I think yesterday, right, we finally cracked that.
Yep.
So if we go back to the SPY here and look at yesterday's play, looks like we finally hit that all-time high. So we cracked it. We're at 294.45, I think was the number. So getting a little bit of a pullback here, but pretty much still opening pretty flat. Again, we hit the high and then we came back down to this level, but pretty much still on this pullback still looks like a very strong market at the moment. So again, that's exciting to see us breaking these new highs while we're trading here. So let's go over our list here, what we traded yesterday. So you can see we had a very good watch list. A lot of stuff moving really nice yesterday. So we'll go over this. I know Disney was great. I didn't trade Disney, but I saw it after the fact. That was a really nice pop there. So let's get into it, guys. Last day of the month. So let's get prepared to finish this month strong. Let's see what we have here on Momo. Let's see how Momo traded yesterday. So Momo had a very active pre-market action, had a nice range here, a lot of volume, but at the open, it's just, I don't know what it was, but it just became very, very choppy to trade. Look at this 1 minute. I'll show you the 5 minute now as well. I'm sorry, the 1 minute. So you can see here, see this is pure chop. Look at this 1 minute, just pure choppy here, but with a lot of volume. It did have some serious volume. It looked very attractive. The 5 looks a little cleaner, but again, if you're trading, trying to get a good entry in the 1, you can see that it was not clean at all. It's very, very choppy all over the place. Then you got this pop here out of nowhere, right above here. You get squeezed here really hard, cracks the high of the day. I mean, this happens within 2 minutes. Look at this pop here, and then if it sells back down, it just kind of just chops around the entire mid-morning. So again, very difficult to take a trade here unless you got a really good entry and scalped it basically. But again, very difficult to even catch this pop because there's no indication here of any type of strategy. There's no double bottom. There's no clean V reversal. Just nothing in here that indicated that this thing was going to do this here out of nowhere. Next, we had AMD. AMD was a beautiful short. Look at this action here. The 1 starts off trying to take off here. Cannot break this high for some reason. Tested it 1, 2, 3. Then it sells off nicely below VWAP. This is kind of your signal where showing this thing is back below VWAP and is going towards the low of the day. Once you see that it does this pullback here, this is what I like to see on this 5 minute. Again, so if you look at it in the 5 minute, this is a pretty weird candle here, but it shows that it's really trying to sell off. It couldn't hold the price above the VWAP, and then the next candle gives you a nice, beautiful pullback right above VWAP. Cannot close above VWAP, and then it drops down nicely. So this was a good short here if you was able to get an entry around this area close to VWAP. Then it just sells off. Takes some time to sell off. It does test your entry several times. Maybe you would have stopped out here, but hopefully by getting all the way down here, you would have taken some profits out. Tesla, this is what I mean, guys, when we talk about, this stock on the daily. If we look at the daily yesterday, right, let's forget about this here, but daily looked very weak, right, which is hanging out here. It looked like it would want to lose the levels again, but as you can see here, yesterday it kind of held this at the open. So at the open, you did have a little sell-off here, but then it comes above VWAP and then it takes off. So this is why you don't want to have any type of bias on any stock. If they're weak, you want to make sure that you're watching the price action. Clearly here you can see on the 1 it sells down, but then it starts finding a level here. It does not want to sell below this, and then it starts taking off nicely above VWAP. And then once it gets above VWAP here and it holds above VWAP, you could tell, okay, this stock might want to be going a nice little trend here. It gives you a nice ABCD pattern, a good pullback to the moving averages, and then it takes off. So Tesla was great to trade.
That had a beautiful Tesla had a beautiful double top right there at 11:30, and then right at noon that a lot of the traders in the room took.
Yeah, that's
Robert
actually
called it out, and a lot of people were looking at it. It was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that is actually very, very clean there. I mean, that's a nice, beautiful double top. Double tops are not easy to take, but man, this one You're absolutely right. This looks very, very clean here. Great risk to reward there. Heading back to VWAP, and it hits VWAP too. Hits right on it. So again, that's your risk is anything above this level here, above the high. You get anywhere in this area once you get confirmation, right? You're not going to get in here because you don't know if this is going to be heading down. But anywhere in this area is a good risk to reward. I mean, that's just beautiful down to VWAP. What was that, 3 to 1 or so? So a very nice trade there for those that took that later on in the mid-morning. Disney was a beautiful opening range breakdown. You can see here on the 5, this is your range, and then it gives you a beautiful pullback here. So you got a nice pullback on the 5, and then it drops nicely all the way down to this level here. Previous day high and lows listed right there on 137.50. So you had a really good level to go for, and then a nice double bottom here. Beautiful double bottom. And it goes right back to VO, so that's another possible play you could have taken on Disney as well. Again, Disney traded very, very clean yesterday. Disney has a beautiful daily chart as well. Look at this here. It's had this pop here, had a sell-off yesterday, and today's opening up pretty flat. But again, nice daily chart here. A lot of activity happening in Disney over the last several days after they had that news of their streaming service and so forth. So Target, let's see how Target traded. I don't remember Target's pre-market action. Yeah, it was very crappy. It did have volume, but it was not clean. It sold off, but I wasn't watching how this traded actually, so I don't recall if this was choppy or not. After the fact, now it looks very. It was right. Yeah, I don't recall having an interest on this one.
I actually tried. I tried a quick trade in that at the open, and I got stopped out of it and moved on.
Yeah, it doesn't look it. Again, it looks clean now. If you're looking at the file, oh yeah, it looks clean. But if you're not really watching the price action, you really can't tell by this. But based on what Norm's telling us, it didn't trade very clean. So, and then here it just turns to chop. This is all chop here. You know, if you're trying to catch a reversal, if you miss this entry here, and then you're trying to get in here, either long or short, this is a pure chop here. You get a drop here, but again, more chop, and it just loses the volume. Once it loses the volume like this, it's very difficult to trade, especially if it's not in any kind of trend or something. Spot, S-P-O-T, this one was also pretty nice. Look at this drop here. Beautiful opening range breakdown, a nice pullback. This is what we like to see. We like to see the range be built on that first 5 minute, and then we want to see that second 5 minute candle come up to the VWAP and sell off. Again, you're not entering here because you don't know when the sell-off is going to stop, right? You want to make sure this is going to be weak. You want to enter once it starts heading down somewhere in this area for the crack of the range and towards these levels over here. So beautiful opening range breakdown here. Whoever took that trade, that was a really nice one. INNT, I looked at this again, had a pop. Once it did this sell-off here, I just stopped looking at it. I was not interested at all. Again, not really looking to trade this stock, but I was curious to see how it was going to trade. I did tune into MBRX also just to see what it was doing. But look at this craziness, just pure chop, pure garbage. You got this drop here, then volume completely drops and just not really in play at all. PRPO was another one that people were somewhat interested in. I was not interested in this one at all. So actually, I have not seen how this traded. But it looked like it was just very choppy. So hopefully you did not get caught on this here. Again, look, out of nowhere, it just pops up. I think it was like 40% or so. This thing was trading at like under $1. Out of nowhere yesterday, it just gets, above $4, opens at $5, and then just sold off for the open, really. So very low. Actually, this is not a low flow. I think it's not a.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's a 28 million shares flow, which is confusing.
But if I remember correctly, I think they did a reverse split to get relisted, and that's part of why that bounced so much. So the float might not be updated properly in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, yes, I do remember some of the members mentioning that yesterday when we were doing our pre-market show. So again, just something like this, guys, we don't know what to expect. We don't got good clean levels. Let it wait till it settles down, and then we can make a trade on it. All right, so that was yesterday. Let's look at what we have today. I see some of our gappers in here. Let's go over here. All right, so NXPI. Let's start with that one first. So this is up 6.2. Let's get our charts in line here on the 5. All right, let's get the 1 in place as well. So we're up 6.3, 6.2 on this one. 125,000 shares traded. Now this stock I know very well because we had it. There was a while where it just kept coming up on the gappers list, but it doesn't trade well. This does not trade clean at all. It's very difficult to trade. It's very choppy. So it's definitely not one of my favorites. You can see here the pre-market action is complete chop at the moment. I'm not a fan of this one. We'll keep it on here, but most likely I'm going to drop it. And I'd rather watch like a MU, see if that gives me some kind of opportunity. I just really do not like to trade this stock. Pins, you can see here, pins is just on a roll. Up 4.6 today. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't. SPY is tanking right now for some reason.
Oh, let me get up. Let me get down on one of my other charts in here.
It's popping. It's popping back up, but I don't know if there was some kind of news that just came out that I haven't seen yet.
Okay. All right. I'll keep my eyes out on Benzinga, see if anything pops up there as well. Yeah, I see that drop there on the SPY on my other chart as well. Let me see, what is the QQQ? Same thing. QQ has a nice drop here also. So let's see what's happening. Again, we just hit all-time high as well. So who knows what people are taking profits, and who knows what's going on that as well. So Pins has been on the road. I mean, this thing, look at this. It has not put in a red day since it opened up on recent IPO back on the 18th. Just been very strong here. Somewhat of an indecision candle there, but it continues its strength. Yesterday went really nice on here. So today up 3.7, 365,000 shares traded so far. How did it trade yesterday? This looks clean now. Again, hard to tell how the actual price action was. I didn't watch it, but it looks clean. It looks like it gives you a nice double base here, kind of a double bottom, maybe CD pattern. Goes into this nice squeeze here, breaks the high of the day, and then just trades real nice here, right? Real nice trend trade. So not sure if any of you guys traded this, but again, just seems very, very strong. Up another 3.2 today with some good volume. It's hard to trade these stocks for me that are just recent IPOs, because it's hard to get levels. You know, you don't have some good levels. The moving averages are not as set yet. They're not, they don't have a good foundation, because it's not a lot of history on it. So a little difficult to trade. GM, see what's going on with GM. But let's look at JD first. JD, look at this daily chart, just pure chop on JD. I mean, this is not a good daily chart, guys. We get the question a lot, what's a good daily chart? What's a bad daily chart? Well, this right here is a horrible daily chart. You could just see the chop all over the place. There's no nice flow to it. There's just nothing clean about this daily chart, which makes it harder to find daily levels of support and resistance, which are so important with the type of style that we trade. Right now, 176,000 shares traded so far. It is up 2.1. But again, just not a clean pre-market action. It needs more volume. So we'll wait for this to get better here. Let's look at GM. GM is also very choppy right now. 180,000 shares traded. They are down 2.4. Daily chart. Just see, this daily chart looks a lot better. You kind of have a nice little pop here. You kind of have a little range. It's trying to break out. Found some resistance up here, and now it's selling back down. So do they have earnings today or something? They're down quite a bit. Let me just check, see what we have on GM and Benzinga. Let me just throw that on there. All right, they did. So they did release earnings this morning. Looks like 8 a.m. this morning. So they're down quite a bit. They missed, I think, sales, but they did beat EPS. So all right, so they're down quite a bit based on earnings. So down 2.4, 180,000 shares traded so far. Not a clean pre-market action. This one trades a little funky. It also is one of those NYSE stocks that does not move much. So you got to be aware of that as well. Next we have PRGO. PRGO down 7.5. That's nice. See what we have here on the daily chart. Also not a great daily chart as well. You can see all the chop here. Just again doesn't move much. Doesn't move clean. A lot of wicks instead of bodies. Just random stuff going on here. At this moment, down 7.5. Not a lot of volume. Only 111,000. Just barely cracking 100K. And the pre-market action is just not clean neither. So let's wait for this to get a little better. Right now, pre-market action seems to be all over the place. This is not a good pre-market action, guys. See, it's just no volume. A lot of flat on here. You do have some candles here with 24,000, maybe a little more here, maybe 15,000 here. Looks like 10 or so. But again, just not a clean pre-market action on PRGO. And last but not least on this gappers list, let's look at GOOGL. So what do we have here? This is Alphabet. Let's see what's going on here. So wow, they're down 8%. What happened here? Let's check Benzinga. Did they have earnings? I think they did have earnings, right?
Yeah, they had earnings last night. They fell $100 in the after hours market. Yeah,
I'm getting crushed. I mean, down 8% for a stock that's trading at 1,300. That's a lot. So that's a big drop here. So they will definitely be in play. But again, this is like Amazon. I call these the mortgage stock. I don't trade these, obviously. It's just too high price. But definitely in play today, guys. Look at this huge drop here, down 8%. and volume is starting to creep up. Not much yet, 109,000 at the moment. So all right, we did have another one pop up over here. Actually, two more. We have MCD, which was in here before, and WDC. So let's look at these. These were not there earlier. Yep, thanks. Thanks for bringing that up as well. Thank you. All right, so MCD up 2%. Good pre-market action here. 273,000 shares traded. We got a nice little range going on here. It's kind of lost some momentum at the moment. I guess we got some indecision. Consolidating here right now. This is up quite a bit, so we got some very clean levels here. Daily chart looks clean. This looks very clean. All right, we got a nice little flow to it. See the difference between this one and like a, again, this is not a this is more like a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, right? You got a nice flow to it going on here. And then look at JD. See how you have all these gaps in here, just pure chop, just moving sideways. So this is not a clean pre-market action, you know, red up, down up. So just not clean as MCD. MCD looks a little better than JD does. So this one definitely in play. We got some volume. Pre-market action started off really nice. Got a nice little pop, little drop here to this moving average. So let's hope that the volume continues to give us a good flow here. We want to see a range that keeps building. Next we have, what is the flow on MCD, by the way? Or the ATR
Massive.
today? Yeah, flow is huge, obviously. But what's the ATR? $2. Okay, I thought it would be lower. It's actually $2.20. I thought their thing would be a lot lower because they're so big, right? So, but again, not bad. $2.20. Next, we have WDC will be the other one. WDC. Look at WDC in here. All right, here we go. So what do we have? WDC, just 103,000 shares traded. So just barely cracking 100K. Let's get rid of some of these levels. Daily chart is a little funky. I do like the drop of 4.7 here. So it's a nice drop. We got some clean levels, not too clean. This is also another daily chart that looks like JD. Very horrible, very choppy, all over the place. A lot of gaps in between here. But you somewhat have it level right in here. We can mark down. You have one right around here where the price action is slightly above it at the moment. It might be the low of the pre-market. So you do have some levels we can pull up out of there. Let's check the pre-market action. Yeah, not great. This got to get a lot better. This pre-market action is really all over the place, very choppy. So not one that we want to consider if we have anything else better to trade. Let's look at SHOP, S-H-O-P. Just popped up into our gapper scanners. 113,000 shares traded so far. Also nicey stock, just barely cracking 100K, down 2.1. Decent daily chart. But not a great pre-market action, but it's just starting to get the volume. So we'll come back to it in a second. All right, folks, let's look at NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. So we have a NASDAQ ETF, both right here on the top. They're being active right now. CTRV, penny stock. We're not going to trade that. JD, we have, it's got an okay pre-market action, horrible daily chart. CNAP, also penny stock. We'll skip that one. See what Apple's doing. Apple's in here with about 188,000 shares traded. Opening up pretty flat, just down 0.5%. It's got a good daily chart though. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, Apple has a very nice daily chart. You got a clean support right in here, the low of 2 days ago. So it looks like we're now in the area where we can go back down and test that or test its previous day close. So it has a good daily chart. Pre-market action at the moment, not the best. Another NASDAQ ETF, AMD. AMD, no volume, AMD, no pre-market action. GNMX, penny stock. And then we got the volatility index right here, TVIX. All right, NOVN, nothing going on, no volume. PI, same. GTHX, nothing. VERB, not much going on. DGLY, same. TMDI, nothing. VRNS, no volume. NXPI, we have already. Again, it's another one of those stocks that just doesn't trade very clean, but we have that one already. And then GOGL, no volume at the moment. All right, guys, what do you have on your end? What do you guys like this morning? I heard someone mention GE very early on. Let's see what GE is going on. What has going on here.
GE had a huge pop this morning.
Yeah, it's up 7.5. When I saw it earlier, I think it was up to 9. So up 7.5, selling off a bit here, but it looks like did they have earnings yesterday? Just gonna check.
This morning, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like it was this morning on GE. All right, so They're popping up on earnings. GE doesn't move much, but today might be one of those days where, again, the ATR is very low on GE. This is why it's not showing up here into our Trade Ideas Gapper scanners, but GE could be in play today. Definitely has the volume today, and it's popping up about 7.5, almost 8%. So let's keep that on there. Next we have, let's look at BP. BP is taking off here, 202,000 shares traded. It's up 2.7. Pre-market action looks okay. Daily chart does not look great at all. This is not a clean daily chart. This is a foreign stock too. This is the BP Mobile, I think. This is the what is this one? Oh no, it's something else. Yeah, so again, not a great daily chart. It does look like a foreign stock. I'm not sure what company this is, but it does look like a foreign stock just by the way all these gaps are here.
BP, British Petroleum.
Oh, okay, yep. So there it is. So this is that foreign company. Again, just not a clean daily chart. Pre-market action right now is starting to build up. It's starting to get some volume going here. So if it can keep this going, it can look nice. We'll come back to it, but I prefer not to trade foreign stocks just because the daily chart it just has all these gaps. Just not clean to find levels in a stock that looks like this, right? Look at this. There's no flow to it. So again, just want to avoid that. Next, what do we have? So yep, GE we have in our list already. Let's look at pins. Pins we looked at earlier. What is pins up to today? So again, up 3.9, 413. Why is this not on? Oh, yeah, it's popping up to our gapper scanners now. All right, I was wonder why I wasn't there. Yeah, so pins is in place. Actually, we do have pins here. Yeah, we have pins here. Pins is up there. So we're good. Pins is definitely in play. What else, guys? Anything else that we might have missed? No, or anything else you like this morning? On your list,
I mean,
the usual Facebook.
I keep finding, yeah. Apple looks kind of interesting at this level. Facebook possibly, Nvidia as well. But you know, everything I keep finding, actually, you keep either somebody mentions or you
right.
pull it up anyway. So we're good.
Excellent. PHG just popping up into our scans. Want to see what this looks like. Also looks like a foreign stock. Wow, what is it? Is it a day of the horrible daily charts? I mean, this is nasty here. This is not what you want to trade. So don't be fooled by, again, it's got some volume, 150,000 shares traded. Look at the pre-market action too. There's a really bad pre-market action, guys. You don't want to be involved in anything that looks like this, right? So just avoid that. Next we have MRK. MRK, let's take a look at that. MRK. All right, it has a better pre-market action. This looks has a way better daily chart here. Got a nice little bounce going on. So we do have, yeah, this looks okay. It's got to get more volume though, but it looks good though. It looks good on the daily. Pre-market action doesn't look great, but that's just because it doesn't have the volume. But I do like this daily chart. I do like this pop. Again, had a huge sell-off, found a base around this moving average at 200, and now it's coming back. So it has a very good daily chart. Looks like it wants to, could go both ways. Could come back and test the previous day close and several highs where it consolidated here, or it could continue to trend up and try to break this high where it's at now, right? Very clean level that was support and resistance, right? Support here, resistance here, and that's probably exactly the high of the pre-market at the moment. So has a good daily chart, but the volume is not there yet. It could become something later on today. WAGE, no volume at the moment. Again, nice daily chart here. It's got a nice pop up 15%, but we need the volume for this one. It's a nice pop though, 15% here. That's a really nice nice pop, but again, just the volume is not there. Only 68,000 shares traded at the moment. It's not going to be enough to get it on our list. RENN, also another one up 24%. This is a good pre-market action here. What's the float on this one? RENN. Why is this one not in our NASDAQ gains? Doesn't move much. Only 0.18 cents, 18 cents, 32 million shares float. Yeah, but this has some good volume. 1.6 million shares traded. It has a good pre-market action, and you see that when it gets the volume, it does run. So this one is interesting. Yeah, I do like this one. Let's add this one down here. Not sure why this one's not hitting any of the scanners. It is a NYSE stock, so it should come up there. Oh, that's what's a NYSE stock. That's probably why. All right, so we'll put it up here, up 23%, 1.6 million shares traded. We do have a nice flow. So it's actually not a low flow stock, but I'm putting it down here because I gotta watch how many shares I take if I do trade this, right? This is 2.3. So yeah, Abby, I agree. The range today should be a lot higher based on it gapping out 24%. Although you have 18 cents on this is based on 14 days, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But I think this is a 14-day average on that 18%. Today is definitely a lot more. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, so we looked at that one. RENN. We have QComs. Check out QComs. See what that's been up to. No volume today, but let's look at the daily chart. Has an interesting daily chart here. Looks like it might want to head higher throughout the mid-morning. Again, it's been holding this level. It came down, sold off. It held this level, found support, and it's heading back up now. So it could be just moving with the market at this point because it's kind of consolidating after doing this huge move on these 2 days here, having this nice gap. Could just be consolidating now. Definitely not one I'm going to watch just because the volume is not there. Pre-market action doesn't look great, but that's all because of the volume. All right, folks. Let's find some levels. I think we have quite a bit on here. Let's find some levels for what we have. Let's remove some of the ones that are not looking great. And it's time to be a little picky. We have some more that are popping up into our gapper scanner. So we have C. Let's look at CVX. CVX right now, 208,000 shares traded. It is popping up 2.3. Daily chart looks decent, looks okay. Got a few gaps on here, but overall, it's okay. What do we have? So looks like the volume is just starting to come in. I don't see where the volume is. Okay, just starting to come in right now, so not really great at the moment. But if it continues to get this type of volume and keep this range here going, it can be nice. What else we have on our gappers list? I think that will be it. Okay, cool, guys. Let's go through this list. Let's get rid of some. So let's start with NXPI. So NXPI, again, this stock is definitely in play. It's not one of my favorites. I don't think it trades very well. So I'm just gonna remove some of these levels here. Let's find the high of the pre-market sitting at 105, basically 104.99. Below that, we have a clean level here at 102.99, basically 103. Low of the pre-market at 99.97. So some very clean levels in here. You can also mark down this one. This 101.26, 101.19. This is good because you have several days testing that one here and one here. This one opening and closing in this area. So that's a possible good level. Are we all-time high on NXPI? I just want to go back and check. Not sure if that's... No, we're not. So let's just get a few more levels above the pre-market high right now, sitting at 105. So above this, again, this daily chart is not as clean, so it's very difficult to find levels. I do like this level here at 108. 108. Why is it not coming? There we go. 108.21. You got several days. If you draw a line right here, you got several days using this as support and resistance. So you got support being used right here by this date, and then you got resistance coming up on this way on these several days in here. Again, this is where, when you get all this chop here, this is where you have a hard time finding a good daily level, right? This is why we like clean daily charts. I'm going to mark down 106.87 as well, just because you got several days using that as support. You got here, resistance, and then support right on these 3 days here. Just to have something between that 108.21 and the price action now, I think that's a far ways to go. You also have a moving average coming in here as well. So we'll keep this one on here, but this is probably one that I'm going to drop. I just don't like the way it trades. I traded it in the past. It does not trade clean for me. So I might skip that one. Pins, PINS, definitely in play today. Not much level towards the top, all-time high since it just opened up, sitting at 36.07. Looks like it might want to test that and crack it. What else we have? And I think that's it. Yeah, we don't really have any more levels. So, oops, let's bring that back. There it is. So that's your high of the pre-market. You also, towards the bottom, you got your pre-market low, previous day close right next to it. Then all your other levels are down here, and your moving averages are all down here. Again, pins has been very strong on the daily chart, continues to make higher highs, higher lows. Has a nice, beautiful pop here, and it's up 4.6 now, and some good volume. Let's look at the pre-market action. Not the cleanest, but this is good. This is a good pre-market action. You can kind of have a flow here. Let's see if we can get up to that 36.07 and crack that and make a new high. But this is definitely in play today. JD, let's see what JD's up to. So JD, we have a level over here at 30.85 high of the pre-market. Above this, you have 31.58. Then you have several spikes in here, but again, just not a clean daily chart in JD. Towards the bottom, you have 30, which is the high of yesterday. Right here, previous day close, and then you have several levels towards the bottom. Previous day highs and lows listed towards on the bottom of this previous day close. So right now, pre-market action is okay. It just needs volume. It needs to get more volume. It's trying to. You got a nice big drop here of volume, but then it's just there's no volume. It's pretty much dead right now. So it just needs to get more volume to get going. GM, it's just not a good pre-market action. It's got some volume on here, but the pre-market action is not great. Daily chart looks interesting though. It is down quite a bit, down 2.6. Low of the pre-market sitting at 38.88. Below, you have a moving average also coming in right below that. What else we have? Let's get a level in here. You have a possible level right in here, 38.28. That could be towards the bottom. Then towards the top, you have several highs and lows and previous day close. Again, it's just been chopping around here, so that's going to create all these daily levels in here. You have several, about 4 or 5 levels in this area towards the top. You definitely don't need to add any more. Pre-market action, again, not great. This one will probably get dropped. It has starts to get some activity here, but then it's just it's been flat, right? It's been flat, not looking great, so I'm going to drop that one. PRGO, 116,000 shares traded, but all these shares are I don't see a good pre-market action here. You got one candle here with 24, almost a fifth of that volume this morning, and then just not a great pre-market action. So I'm just going to take this one down. It looks good because again, it's down 6.7, right? 6.9. So this drop is nice, but I'll wait for this to hit our scanner. So we'll put some levels on it, but I'm going to remove this one as soon as I'm done with the level. So 46.22, low of the pre-market. Below that, we have 45.11. And then we have some levels down here as well, 43.31. And then towards the top, you have a level in here. Look at this this low from 2 days ago. It goes right across as it becomes a resistance and then becomes support in this area as well. So that's a nice level on there. You can also mark down right here 48.87. That can also be another level of possible resistance on the way up. So we'll see. We'll wait for this to hit our scanners. Right now, I do not like the pre-market action. Doesn't look clean. So I'm going to delete that one. McDonald's, what do we have? 336. High of the pre-market sitting at 204.60. So we'll mark that down. Then towards the bottom, you got plenty of highs and lows sitting on here. I never traded McDonald's, so I'm not sure how this one trades. No, I'm not sure if you had any experience with this one at all.
I traded a little bit. It doesn't move a whole lot. Yeah, I think the ATR is a little over $2, but for a $200 stock, it's next to nothing.
Right. Yeah, I think it's hitting all-time high. So
choppy.
So Weight Watchers is going down, McDonald's is going up. People are eating more junk food. Looks like that's not good. All right. So again, all-time high is 204. But again, I just don't know how this stock trades. Towards the bottom, you do have some levels here. You have a little chop going on here around this previous day close. So you have several levels in here. Nothing towards the top. All the moving averages down here. So we'll see how it plays out. It's got a good pre-market action, but again, it's a higher price stock. And then $2 ATR, like you mentioned, no, that's not a lot for this to get going. WDC, that's horrible pre-market action, folks. This does not look great at all. I do like the drop of 5% here. This is nice. Let's get some levels in here, but I'm going to remove it and wait for it to hit our scanners. We do have 46.38 down here. Low of the pre-market at 47.67, actually 60, and then high of the pre-market at 48.45. Let's mark that down. And then you have the low from yesterday here. You also have one level right in here, 49.57, and tons of levels towards the top. And then one all the way down here, just in case we drop, 44.87. I don't like the pre-market action on this one, so I'm going to drop it. It is dropping, 5%. It's got over 100,000 shares traded, but this is something you don't want to be involved with. It's just too choppy. Now, does this mean that it's going to trade bad at the open? No, this could trade very clean. It can give you a beautiful opening range breakdown, breakup, some ABCD patterns, but you want to give yourself the best opportunity possible. It's just too many to watch. You can't watch all of them. you know, pick a few, pick four, the best six, and focus on those, because you just can't watch everything. And then if nothing in your watch list is moving, you have your scanners. See what Trade Ideas is giving you that you can focus in on. SHOP, SHOP. Also, again, just not a good pre-market action. It's kind of stuck within a range here too on the daily chart. It's got some very choppy seams lately. Had a nice little push up here. Let's get some levels for it. We got a level right. I like this level here. This moving average coming in at 215.25. So let's mark that down. Then towards the bottom, we have another level at 211. Towards the top, you got plenty. Don't need to add any more previous day highs and lows, previous day close, and yesterday's high in here. So you don't really need to add anything on there. But the pre-market action here is just not great. Barely any volume too. Just barely cracking 100,000 K, 141,000 shares. So I'm gonna remove SHOP. Also higher price too. This is $221 stock. GE is interesting. GE is up 7%, which is a lot for a stock like this, and it has been strong for the last couple of days. Look at this daily chart. It's clean, right? It's got a nice little found a base here around 910 or so, and then it's starting to pop up. So let's get some levels for it. GE does not move a lot, so if I find something better, I'm gonna watch. The ATR is very low on GE. High of the pre-market 1083. You have a moving average coming in right where the price action is now, which is kind of supported by these days over here. So I'm just going to mark it down. I'm going to mark down 1032. I know the price is there right now, but that could be an area where you can find some support and resistance. So let's see what it does when it gets down to that level. And then towards the bottom, you can mark down this level here, basically $10. $10 is going to be a level of possible support. The whole dollars in this type of stock trading under $10 can be a significant support and resistance. So see what it does when it comes down to 1030 or so. It looks like it's trying to sell off. It couldn't break the high of 1082. It tested it 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times on the pre-market. So again, very active, tons of volume, 16.4 million shares traded right now. But as we know, GE does not move much. But today could be a day where you can get a couple of 15 to 20 cents out of it. BP doesn't have a clean pre-market action, guys, and the volume is not there. Also, it's a foreign stock. And look at this daily chart is just horrible. Very hard to find levels in it. So I'm just going to remove this one. Get this one out of my list. RENN. Again, it's got some good volume. 1.7 million shares traded. High of the pre-market sitting at a 259. We got this pop here also at 247. Let's mark that down from this day here. We had some serious volume, and it ran up nicely here. Then we have a low of the pre-markets around 208. What else? Do we have any more levels towards the top above this 252? All right, we have some levels in here. All right, we have one all the way up at 318. Then we have a huge gap here, so I'm not going to mark that one down. All right, so we got some momentum going on RENN. Right now, pre-market action looks good. It's creating a little range here, making some highs, trying to find a base, looks like. Hopefully, if it can hold here, it can actually take off. So let's see what happened.
Carlos, have you looked at Oxy?
I have not. Oxy been active the last couple of days too. What's going on? Whoa, what's happening with Oxy?
They just had news. I guess Warren Buffett is dropping in $10 million in that same fiasco between Chevron and them and Anadarko.
Oh wow, this is look at this, 1.4 million shares traded. We went from 64 to 57.
Did I say million? I meant billion. Yeah, it wasn't 10 million. It was 10 billion. I thought I said billion. Gotcha. I apologize if I misspoke.
All right, yeah, this is definitely going to be in play today. It has been active over the last couple of days too. Aside from this just happening now, but so you have a level at 56.85, low of the pre-market right now 57.80. You have several levels in here, so we don't got to put much towards the top. Look at this, all these levels in this area here already, so this is good. Let's see. I'm gonna mark down this level here too, guys, just in case. You have 58.63. Yeah, this is definitely in play. Look at this action. Wow, so this will be fun to watch. Let's put Oxy on there as well. Down 3.4 and 1.4 million shares traded already. Got some good clean levels. This 5 minutes seems to be respecting 57, 58.63. And we have all the 56.85. So let's keep that on there. Next we have JMIAI. So let's look at that one. JMIA. Sorry, this is a recent IPO, right? Yeah, it's got a good daily chart. This is a nice daily chart. It's got a nice little pop here. Found a base. It's trying to get higher, right? Markets are up, all-time high yesterday. We do have some levels here, but the volume is not here, guys. The volume is not there right now. Not a great pre-market action. It's very choppy at the moment. So this is one we can watch for our scanners and see what it does. But again, I see what you're looking at. It's got a beautiful daily chart here. We got some very clean levels. Move this down here. We can follow, but again, just not pretty active compared to what we have here in our list with all these stocks really getting some good volume. All right, folks, so that's my list for now. Andrew's going to log on in a second. He's going to go over his watch list. We'll see what he comes up with, and then we'll also make changes on what else we can watch here. Just a few announcements, folks. Again, lifetime webinar will be on May 2nd, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure to go to the forum and post your questions. Also, we have the meetup. Norm wants to speak about the meetups we have coming up as well, and a little bit about the challenge.
Yeah, so May 19th, we're going to have Andrew in Dallas. I'm trying to nail down the place right now. I believe it'll probably be at Moxie's, so it should be a good time. And then the next day on May 20th, we'll be in Austin. So come see us.
Yep. And also, again, our challenge, we're on the second day. It's very exciting. Good to see the P&Ls are up on the site, so definitely check that out. Also, Abby, if you could post, we have a discount for our YouTube members. If you're not part of the community and you're starting live next month, May 1st, definitely check us out. Check out the tryout. Check it out. See what it's about. Again, we have moderators going live through that entire day. Andrew comes on now after I get off. Me and Norm get off. Then we got Brian. Then we got Peter, William, Robert. It's just try it out. See if it's something that can fit your trading style. And we'd love to have you and welcome you here. Take care, guys.
And you can use you can use the code if you're in the pre-market show on YouTube and you haven't tried our room. Use the code premarket24 to get a discount on that 2 weeks.
Excellent. Take care, guys. Abby just posted that link as well for you guys to have. Take care. Have a great trading day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.
Here. So these three top traders made over a grand, traded $75,000, and then the rest are actually very, very close to each other. So what happens the next day is doesn't matter who's doing what. Again, the next day, whoever made the maximum number. So for example, if trader number 35, which is at place number 7, he makes the most, he gets 10 points plus 4 points he had, he's now 14 points. And depending on how other people did, he might actually come and do the top of the ladder board. So as you see, the way that it works is based on your performance daily. It's not really based on, for example, if you trade a penny stock and you make 20 grand and then you're up there forever. No, it just depends on the next day, people, if you're trade. So this consistency has a big element in there. It still is not 100% fair result, I would say, but still, this is much, much better. The bad thing is, if you really blow up your account and if you come down into the ladder board, then you probably don't have a good chance to come back up because now you have less buying power the next day. So we have a lot of people who had heavy losses. So those guys probably have a little bit more difficult to come up, but still there is a really good chance for them to come. So let's see. Let's really see how it goes. But the key here is, so for example, trader number 90 still has a really, really good chance by the end of this week to become the winner. Even though he made only $379, he still is in the top 10. So as you see, you don't need to make a crazy money to be in the top 10. I mean, we have about 100 traders, but 300, 400, 500 brings you up really in the top 5. So keep trading. As Carlos G is saying, glad to see some normal results. Yeah, exactly. And we look at the trades, and most of the people really never traded any penny stock or garbage stock. So these are all really serious trading.